So have you ever felt like you were placed on a pedestal only to be blamed for everything later? This is my story, a story about how I went from the golden child in my family to the family scapegoat. And it's a warning too, a warning for anyone who's ever felt like they're the center of someone's world until that world disappears. In toxic families, the scapegoat serves as an important function. They absorb the family's collective shame and dysfunction. The golden child was just a temporary trophy for me. Now I'm the target. Ironically, the traits that once made me the golden child made me the scapegoat. The shift can be devastating. The love and approval as a child that you desire are gone, and you feel confusion, shame, you feel deeply alone. Obviously, one reason this happened is because there was a massive change in my family after my father left. Nobody acknowledged this. Nobody was really allowed to talk about it. I would get punished if I asked about my dad. But let me take you to the beginning. My earliest memories are of my father. He used to pick me up from school, and he had a special name for me. He called me the golden child. He'd walk me home, holding my hand, telling me how beautiful my hair was. And in those moments, I felt so safe and protected. It's like nothing else mattered. I remember his big hands around mine, the way he'd smile down at me and make me feel like I was the most important person in the world. Just remembering his smiles and winks he often gave me. Now, getting home, there were arguments in the background, but they didn't affect me. At the time, I didn't feel anything. I was just feeling special. I remember how it felt to be in his presence. There was a calmness, a sense of being protected or shielded from whatever was happening outside. Every night before bed, he'd ask me for a hug and a kiss. I'd feel the scratch of his beard on my cheek. It was rough. It was familiar. It was comforting. I must have been 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11. I don't fully understand my age. I don't think I was 11 though. But so much of my time is a blur. I know now because of trauma, but some memories are crystal clear, like how he'd always remember the little things. He would buy me teddy bears. Most of the things he got me were exactly what I asked for. It felt like he was always listening and paying attention to the little things that made me happy. I believe I was immature for my age at the time, but I don't fully understand that. Saturday mornings, we'd watch wrestling together. This was our thing. He introduced me to cornbread and milk for breakfast. And it's funny how these little rituals can become such powerful memories. Recently, I tried cornbread and milk just to remember it. And even now, I still love wrestling. Even now, every time I see it, I think of him. And he also would bring me Coca-Cola. I love Coca-Cola. And we'd watch comedy shows. There was one called The Love Boat. And it all felt so normal, so safe. I thought that's how families were supposed to be, protected, loved, together. Even if there was background noise, arguments, those moments, those were perfect and everything was okay. But even then, I did notice chaos around me, arguments, people not getting along. There was always tension in the background. My dad used to get so angry when church people would come to the door early in the morning. He hated that. It became like a funny thing in our family, like, watch how mad he gets at church people. But I was safe. I was protected. And there was always, like I said, an undercurrent of something, and I didn't understand it at the time. Like a storm just beyond the window, waiting to break through, a massive black tornado in the background, not quite there yet, seen and felt, but not fully. Then came the last day, and I didn't know it was the last day. He came home looking happy, like nothing was wrong. He said, "I'm going to buy you whatever you want at the store today. I have extra money." I remember wanting to go with him so badly, begging and crying. I remember like a panic. I don't know why. I think I sensed something was wrong, something was off. There was like a tightness in my chest, a desperate need to be with him, but he wouldn't let me. I begged, I cried, I wanted to be with him, but he said no. Over and over, he said no. It felt like it went on forever. Me begging, him saying no. There was a cousin with us, and I wasn't familiar with him, but he was an extended relative. I wasn't sure what his role was, but I think he did the driving because my father had a hard time driving or something. I'm not entirely sure. Even now, I might have some clues on it, but I remember he had a constant smirk on his face. I remember I was getting mad at him. It's like he was holding back a joke or something, and my father winked at him. It's like they were in on some kind of joke, and I didn't know what it was, and I didn't find it funny. He said he'd buy me a telescope. I'd been asking for one for a long time. I thought, well, this will be the day he comes back with it. My dad was performing for him, the distant cousin, kind of playing it all off. I didn't understand why everyone else seemed okay, like nothing was wrong. And then he just left. No hugs, no kisses, no pat on the head, no compliments, no goodbyes. He just walked out. He said, "I'm gonna hurry back. I better hurry back." This was the last time I ever saw him. The last time I felt like the golden child. We lived in a small apartment, and I remember staring out the window, just waiting for him to come back. I'd sit there for hours, just hoping to see him walking up the street. He said he'd buy me a telescope. I'd been asking for one for a long time. I thought, maybe this is the day he comes back with it. After that, everything changed. It's like I went from being the golden child, the apple of my father's eyes, to a ghost, to nothing. I became invisible, or worse, I then became the one to blame. It's like I was erased from the world somehow, or his world. And suddenly I was the scapegoat. I didn't know it at the time, or understand it at the time, but this is what happened. One day I was special, and the next I was the scapegoat. I didn't even realize it was happening. I just knew that the love and safety and comfort and joy I felt were all gone. I was traumatized. Looking back now, I understand that's how it works in some families. You're the golden child until you're not. And when you're not, you're the one who takes the blame for everything that's wrong in the family. It messes with your head. It traumatizes you. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you feel like maybe you deserved it somehow. But you didn't. I didn't. None of us do. And that's why I'm sharing this story. Needless to say, my father never came back. I never saw him again. Many years later, I found out that he had 3 days to live, and I didn't know what I felt. And I probably did the wrong thing. I probably could have said goodbye to him, but I didn't. there's more to that too. And I only found this out from, again, a distant cousin. I don't know if it's the same one. It might have been a different relative altogether. I found out there's many, many relatives I never connected with through the years. But I know I'm not the only one out there. And I know if you've ever felt like your family picked you to be the scapegoat, or you've ever watched someone else go through it, I want you to know it's not your fault. You didn't deserve it. You didn't ask for it. These are facts, and you need to know that you're not alone. I've been there, and I'm still here, and this is just the beginning of my story. I know there's more to tell. It's difficult to talk about, and I was only able to work through it through therapy to understand exactly what happened. And I'll eventually share everything with you, because nobody should be a scapegoat and carry that weight alone. And if this resonates with you, share some of your story in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you want to hear more, obviously, subscribe. Join me in my next video. I'll be doing live streams more. And I'm going to keep talking about this subject because it's too important to just simply stay silent.